Welcome to week 2 of the North Georgia High School Kickoff Show by Team FYN Sports. I'm Tim Towle, joined by Jake West, Director of Team FYN Sports. Jake, man, it's crazy. We're already in week 2. What an action-packed week 1 we had. We had some upsets. We had some drama. We had some blowouts. We had some close games. We had everything you could have imagined. And I think week 2 is going to be the same. A lot of great rivalries still in week 2. We're going to talk about it. I'm excited to get it going, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, seems like we've waited forever for it to start, and just like that, we are already into the second week of the year. Man, it's crazy, and you mentioned good rivalries coming up this week. Let's gloss over some things that happened last week.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the game that I was at. Obviously, upset. Union County defended their home turf at Mike Caldwell Memorial Stadium and defeated Fannin County. It rained the whole game, Jake. As a matter of fact, I've got some tennis shoes sitting there by the front door. They're still wet from this weekend. It rained the whole game. A lot of the fans stayed. It was still a good environment. But hats off to Union County. Head coach Michael Perry. They got the job done. Thomas Nelson, defensive coordinator, deserves a lot of credit. Shut down the Fan Rebel offense. Quarterback Caden Tanner for Union County had a great clutch pass down there on the sideline as Union County punched it in right there to go up 14-7. So that was a bit of a surprise. Fannin County's been one of the best teams in our coverage area in the North Georgia mountains the last few years. Still can be. Still have everything in front of them, but right now, Union County, king of the mountain so far on this side. So that was a fun game to watch. I didn't like the result, obviously, but hats off to Union County, and they've got a big one this weekend against Lumpkin County, Jake.
Yeah, they do, and that's another game. Union County shocked a lot of people with their win, but I know Lumpkin County was playing a lesser opponent in Riverside Military Academy last week, but still, Lumpkin County is on the rise. Heath Webb's got that program trending upward.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about Lumpkin County and Union County here in our show. That's going to be a great game. 2 schools of the Team FYN original coverage area. We've also got Fannin and Gilmer County, and Gilmer County, we've said all off season they're trending up. Yeah. Coach Paul Standard has done such a great job in the short time he's been there, and they had a great win over LFO this past week, and it's going to be a great matchup. A lot of rivalry. There's been a lot of smack talk already on social media this week between the 2 student sections and the fan bases, and that's just a good old Fannin Gilmer rivalry. It's going to take place on Friday night.
Yeah, and Gilmer got that big win over LFO. And I think we got an interview with Coach Standard. If you want to go ahead and play that, where he gives his thoughts about the game.
All right.
Well, we had a football game with a lot of different things that happened for us, up and down, and I'm very proud of our young men on how they persevered through some ups and downs. We start off slow. That's my fault. If we're not ready when we get off the bus, that's on me, and we'll get that fixed. So we come around in the second quarter and finally started moving the ball. I thought our defense really played great. We gave up a big play, which we got to fix that. You can't give up a big play to their known big receiver. But other than that, I thought our defense really played lights out. And I told them that at halftime. I said, fellas, we had them. I felt like we were going to push over the edge, but we let them back in the game. And now you're in a dogfight. This is exactly the kind of game that we were in last year twice, I felt like, where we weren't able to overcome some of our own mistakes. And tonight we did, and I think we did that because A, we got some tremendous senior leadership. No, well, let me go back. A, because we got a great coaching staff that didn't panic. B, we got great senior leadership, and we had some gutsy performances by some of our men. And, you know, we had a sickness run through our team this past week. We had a lot of guys out at practice at different times. And I felt like our kids that were able to come back, though they weren't at top performance level, play their hearts out. And that showed as well. Then we had some guys that came in and played, and which is what you need to have for preseason games. I need to know that a Jaden Blassingame, a senior who's a first-year football player, came in and did something positive for us. And some of our young guys, you know, were able to get in there and play and place up some of our more experienced guys to give them a blow. And it was a good showing by them. So we grew. But we certainly cannot start off against a Fannin County, or really about anybody else that we're going to play. My hat's off to LFO. Coach Brian and his guys have done a great job. And their guys have made great improvement from their first two scrimmages. And, you know, and I felt like we were too, but we got to go back, not to the drawing board, but we got to go back to the fundamentals. But our kids will. And I'm just proud of them. They persevered because they could have turned south. There were a couple series in there that if we don't stop them, it could have gone the wrong way. And so that's why I'm so proud of our defense. Our kicking game is better, though you know, we still had some miscues. But I'll tell you one thing, we had a kicker tonight. He did get a little dinged up, one of our two kickers, but he made a great touchdown saving tackle in the first half. So I was proud of that, and we're going to keep getting better. But, you know, first game, but we got a lot of things. We won't lack for things to work on Monday, that's for sure.
Well, you talk about how they did come out and put a little pressure on you, going real quick, trying to shoot the long ball on you. And,
right.
But then you get the big play, and Will Kiker, big touchdown run, which kind of really kind of swung the momentum. I think we all felt it. Talk about the night he had tonight.
You know, again, he's a guy that played. He didn't play every snap, but he played almost every snap. And he was involved in almost every big play, either as a defender or as a ball carrier or as a blocker. And he's been blocking great. You know, he makes a great kick return, and the ball does come loose. And he came to me, I said, dude, Bubba, that just happened. Got to secure the ball, but I wouldn't want anybody else to have the ball in his hands. And, you know, Will Kiker, Hunter Watkins, you know, those are the guys we want, so why we got them back there. But I thought Will just showed a lot of guts. I mean, we ran one play, there was a dumb call by a guy. It was terrible. And he got the pitch, and there was about 10, looked like the defensive team picture for LFO. And he put his foot in the ground and, you know, went right and ended up with about, I don't know, 10 yards, which should have been a 5-yard loss. All I can say is I'm glad he's on our team, and he can overcome bad coaching, which he did. So, you know, Will's obviously one of our top leaders, but what a great young man, and very, very, I think everybody in our community humble, doesn't want any accolades, and that's what makes him a great kid to coach, you know. Proud of our kids, really proud, and you know, that's what it's about. Game one, we gotta fix some mistakes, which is what I love about our job. We get to go back to work on Sunday for the coaches, Monday for the kids, and we're gonna get ready for that next opponent and continue to get better.
All right, Coach. Well, you guys pitched a shutout here in the second half tonight. Big win, game number one, win number one here at LFO. We'll see you next week when we open up the home schedule against that team from up north.
That team from up north, that's right.
We'll see you then.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate you.
Really good interview there, Jake. Coach Tanner, good. He's a great guy, great coach. I enjoy listening to his interviews. I believe that video was courtesy of the Gilmer Touchdown Club, so we appreciate them sharing that interview. Gilmer Fannin, that team up north, as Gilmer calls Fannin. Huff Mosley Stadium Friday night. Man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a great football game. It's going to be a physical football game, and a lot of athletes on the field.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, just it's one of those athletes that Coach Sander was talking about in that interview. Will Kiker, we knew he was going to be an impact player this year, and he proved it in week one. I think he had 130 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. And the lone completion that Gilmer had on the night was a touchdown pass to him. I think it was like 28 yards through the air. And he also had a couple tackles on defense. So he's a do it all guy for the Bobcats, and he's somebody that your Rebels are going to have to game plan for on Friday night for sure.
He's a problem. He's been impressive. Jake, I believe we've seen a lot of videos of him in the weight room this summer too. All of Gilmer, they've got. It's not just Kiker. They've got players all over the field. Good offensive, defensive line. The Rebels, Corbin Davenport had the most yards for the Rebels on Friday. Carson Callahan ran the football well for Fannin. They've defensively. Fannon's very good defensively. We know that they've been great defensively the last 2 years, and that defense will have to step up though. Gilmer County, they're going to want to make a statement. Logan Long, defensive line, Cade Sands in the linebacker secondary. Rebels have got to play fundamentally sound defense, or this is going to be a great football game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means either way. This game may come down to who has the ball last.
Yeah, I agree. And one thing you mentioned that Fannin defense and just how good it is, and I mean how good they were last week. They only allowed 14 points, and that one was in the that last touchdown was in the waning minutes of the game. But they're going to see a very, very physical Gilmer County football team. This is not Gilmer County 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I don't know how long has this rivalry been on hold, Tim.
Yeah, it's 2 years. They did scrimmage last year. There was a brief hiatus last year. They didn't play in 2020. The Rebels had to cancel the game because of COVID. So look, these guys have played each other their whole life, all through rec ball, middle school. They know each other. There's the parents know each other. The band members know each other. It's a rivalry. It's one of the best rivalries in North Georgia. Coach Stannard alluded to it. He calls them the team up north. You don't call just you don't say that team up north to anybody. That means that you don't like that school and you're a rival. So it's a rivalry game. I think a lot of keys for both teams on tomorrow night, is going to be controlling your emotions, because the first few minutes, I really expect it to be a lot of energy. The atmosphere is going to be crazy. Can't turn football over. No selfish penalties. I think Fannin had 1 or 2 late hits the other night, so you can't have that. Can't turn the ball over, obviously. Can't jump off sides. You got to control your emotions in this type of football game.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to point out was before the season started, I think Fannin was probably a 24-point favorite going into this game, and now I just checked on Massey ratings and it says Fannin County 28, Gilmer County 20. So
8 points.
That just shows you how much Paul Stannard and his coaching staff have turned the Gilmer County program around.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Stannard's done an amazing job. Coach Cheatham, I know, has so much respect for Coach Stannard and the job he's done. And I would imagine Coach Stannard, I don't know him personally, but it's hard to not respect what Coach Cheatham's done with the Fannin County Rebel program the last few years. You're going to see 2 great coaches on Friday night, 2 great staffs. Obviously, you got the defensive coordinator for Gilmer, Coach Jeff Nelson, who used to be the head coach at Pickens County and was the defensive coordinator under Chris Parker for all those years. Fannin's got defensive coordinator Adam Turner, who's done such a great job. The offensive coordinator for Paul Stannard is his son, Paul G., correct? He's the offensive coordinator for Gilmer. He's done a great job. He's obviously learns from his dad, so, I mean, we know he's a good coach. Offensive coordinator for Fannin County, Chris Thigpen, has done a tremendous job since assuming the offensive coordinator roles at Fannin County, and obviously Cheatham and Stannard. So you're going to see great coaching Friday night. You're going to see great players. I really think this game may come down to who has the ball last. It really could, and that's just going to make the environment and the atmosphere that much more exciting, Jake.
And I think you mentioned the atmosphere with it being at Huff Mosley. It's no secret who you're going to pick, but I think I'm gonna say this is gonna be an upset. I'm gonna go with the Bobcats to win this one at home. You alluded earlier to Fannin County's kind of quarterback situation. You don't know who's going to be back there. Corbin Davenport and Elijah Weaver both took snaps against Union County last week. That's no secret. So I just think there's a question mark at the quarterback position for Fannin County, and defensively, obviously their defense is very good, and is as advertised as we saw last week, only giving up 14 points. But I think they're going to see a very, very physical football team. Nothing against the Union County Panthers, but I just think this Gilmer team could really come out and punch you in the mouth if you let them.
Absolutely. You're going to have a lot of people picking Gilmer County in this game. I think the Rebels will accept that, and they will feed off that. And the same thing with Gilmer. I'm going to pick Fannin. It's no secret. They're going to feed off that. That's what makes this Highway 515 rivalry so great. I think it's going to be the game of the week in North Georgia. And with all due respect to Lumpkin and Union and Pickens and North Murray, which are going to be great games just down the road, this game Friday night, it's a rivalry game, and it is going to be an absolute showdown. I can't wait. I think I lost you there, Jake.
Sorry, I think I was muted. But I was just saying, I think you're right. I think Fannin County always loves being picked against, and they use that as fuel for the fire. And I mean, if you're not going to be, if you don't plan on going to attending a game on Friday night, I would encourage you to go see this matchup between these two, because I mean, the rivalry hasn't been this heated in a while, Tim. I mean, the teams haven't been this close and this competitive in a while. But
yeah,
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
I was just going to say another really good rivalry that we're going to have coming up this week is going to be Lumpkin versus Union, as Lumpkin travels to Union, and I think we're going to talk about that matchup right after this commercial break when we come back here at North Georgia High School Kickoff, presented by Team FYN Sports.
B&M Metals has been serving the Southeast for almost 50 years. From metal roofs and panels to gutters and metal accessories, B&M Metals is your one-stop shop for all things metal. They pride themselves on providing great service and quality at a competitive price. Give B&M Metals a call at 706-864-6068 or visit them at 6195 Highway 52 East in Murrayville or at bmmetalroofing.com. B&M Metals, protecting everything that matters to you most.
The Red Tag sale is back.
Who's that guy?
His name is Red Tag. He's here to save some green. He's slashing prices left and right for the home of your dreams. Save thousands on select in-stock homes, that's what we say. If you want to save some green, just look for the man in red.
My name is Gary.
Don't.
Save thousands on select homes at the Red Tag sale.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the Endless Aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
The wait times are shorter, so get to Days and pre-order your new Chevy today. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is your pre-order headquarters. If Chevy builds it, we can reserve your slice of happiness right now. And as soon as your new Chevy rolls off that truck, we'll deliver it right to you. So get it done. Pre-order your new Chevy today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
North Georgia Metals has been serving the Southeast for over 40 years. From metal roofs and panels to gutters and metal accessories, North Georgia Metals is your one-stop shop for all things metal. Give the team at North Georgia Metals a call at 706-276-1633 or visit them at 15544 Highway 515 South in Ellijay or on the web at northgeorgiametals.com.
It's time to talk the Battle of Blood Mountain, Jake, between Union and Lumpkin. But before we do, I want everybody to follow us on Team FYN Sports, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We've always been about highlighting, promoting athletes in a positive way. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Give us a shout. And if you guys want us to talk about anything on the show, feel free to message us on any one of those social medias, and we'll be more than happy to talk about it. Another big matchup this week, Jake, in the Team FYN Sports coverage area. Lumpkin County will travel over to Blood Mountain to face Union County. I got to see Union County firsthand last week. They were impressive, very impressive. Head coach Michael Perry's got something going on the mountain, as mountain made, as they like to call it. Thomas Nelson, the defensive coordinator. What a job he did last week getting his players to play. That defense from Union County, with all due respect to Riverside Military, who was Lumpkin County's opponent last week, is a lot better than Riverside Military's defense. So Lumpkin County is going to have a challenge. This is the 41st all-time meeting between Union and Lumpkin. Union County leads the series, Jake, 24, 15, and 1. That long tie came back when me and you were barely 1977. Actually, we weren't around, Jake. 1977, there was a 6-6 tie, but the rivalry's been around since 1961. Union County won the first ever meeting, 18-6. So the last meeting, it was held in 2017 when Brian Allison was the head football coach at Union and Shane Williamson was at Lumpkin. Union County actually went to the burial grounds in Lumpkin County and won the football game 31-24. And I kind of think that score may be kind of where we might be at on Friday night. I think both the offenses will get their points. We might make a prediction here in a minute, but I kind of see that score being right there. I think Caden Tanner, Union County quarterback, will step up and make some plays. They got to get the running game going a little bit. But I think it's going to be a great football game at Mike Caldwell. And let me tell you something. If Union County starts 2-0, the buzz will be through the roof with that fan base.
It will. One thing I was going to say, if Lumpkin can get the kind of weather that Fannin County got last week in Blairsville, then I would almost give the edge to Lumpkin. Simply because Lumpkin County, they threw 5 total passes last week, and they were from 3 different guys. So we don't know exactly who their quarterback is. Obviously, they don't use him much, no matter who it is. But, man, the rushing attack for Lumpkin County is there. And if they get that bad weather where maybe Caden Tanner isn't able to sling it around, that will help them out a lot. I mean, Lumpkin County on 29 carries had 306 yards and 7 touchdowns last week. Mason Sullins was our Team FYN Sports Lumpkin County Player of the Week. He had on 13 carries, he had 121 yards and 4 touchdowns. But as you said earlier, Tim, the Union County defense with Thomas Nelson at the helm is a heck of a lot better than the Riverside Military Academy defense that the Indians faced last week. But, I mean, obviously Coach Heath Webb in his first year at Lumpkin County has the ball rolling, and he's got a lot of good things going. So if you were to look this game up on Massey ratings, you would see that Union County is favored 28-21. So a 7-point edge to the Panthers in this one. And Tim, I think that's kind of what you were thinking when we talked earlier.
Yeah, I before even looking at those scores from the last meeting and that meeting back in 1977, I thought it would be a pretty close game. I still think it is, and I think Union County will come away with a victory. I think it'll be a close game, but what surprised me, Union wins between the 7 to 10 point range.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, depending on the weather, depending on all of that, I think it's a 1-score football game. But I do think I'm going to roll with Heath Webb and the Lumpkin County Indians in this one over the Panthers. I just think Mason Sullins and Cal Faulkner and those backs they have are just – they really impressed me last week, and I think they keep it rolling here in week 2. But enough about that game. Let's move over and talk about a game that features a North Carolina team and a Georgia team as Murphy Bulldogs from North Carolina travel over to Commerce to take on the Tigers. I got a chance to sit down with the Potluck football guys earlier this week and hear what they had to say and fill us in all about Commerce and Murphy and what their thoughts were on this game. So let's switch gears and go over and listen to that interview. Welcome in, Jake West of Team FYN Sports. I am joined by the Potluck football guys to preview the Commerce and Murphy matchup here this Friday night. Guys, I appreciate you joining us. You guys want to say your names? I don't even know you by anything other than Potluck football.
Go ahead, Dano.
Yeah, my name's Colton Dean, Commerce alum, 2010. I think we're both 2010,
Yep.
but yeah, I'm Colton Dean. And
Mason, Tiger fan.
So speaking of the Tigers, let's just get right into it. What can you tell us about Commerce and the Murphy fans coming from North Carolina? I mean, what do we expecting? Are we seeing 5-star facilities and turf field, or are we seeing more of a small town feel like we're used to over here in 1A football in North Carolina?
Well, from what I hear, Commerce is a lot like Murphy. I got to talk to Tim Tao up at Gilmer. He's from Fannin, and Commerce is a small town in northeast Georgia. You know, we've been playing football since 1909. We like our facilities. You know, it's not going. You're not going to have a light show at Commerce, but we love it.
As far as the team is concerned, and offensively, I mean, what kind of scheme are we going to see? Is it I mean, the same small town football, veer, wing tee, something like that, or do you guys like to spread it out and air raid it?
So we run triple option. We've been triple option specialists about the same time as the stadium was built, 1965, and but we're carrying on it this year. We've been running out of the I and the power I, and then out of we've been walking up a H back, kind of like flexed off the end. But we still run the triple. We run a lot of. We're a ground first team. You know, if we throw the ball 5 times, it's a banner night for the passing game.
I think that's probably going to play well into the weather that they're predicting for Friday night. I think we might get a little bit of rain. But just tell us whose name are we going to hear over the loudspeaker? Who's going to be the impact players here on Friday night for the Tigers?
Yeah, we got a pretty much that carry the load a pretty good bit. Jakari Huff and Jaden Daniel. Jaden Daniel is a sophomore. He's preseason All-State running back, and those carry the load on the offensive side of the ball. But with the style of offense we run, I mean, you really got to give credit to the guys up front too. We got a lot of great blocking, a lot of great. You won't hear their name over the loudspeaker, but you'll definitely see their impact throughout the game. Those guys clear a lot of big holes. And then if you want to talk about the defenders.
Yeah, on defense, we're led real stout defensive line up front. In the interior, we play Pat Mintz, who's a sophomore, but he looks like a senior. And then a new guy, his name is Michael Duncan. I got to look up his name because he's so new. But he's just as big as Pat.
One game into the season, we're still figuring it out.
He's just as big as Pat, and he's pretty good too. A little bit taller than Pat. And then we got Jack Fagan on the one end and Colton Hill on the other, and they've been pretty good at blitzing thus far. We've played a couple different looks, 4-3. We got in 50 last week against Southside. Did a weird thing that I've never seen before. I mean, I've been out of the football world for a long time as a player. But we ran a 50 front with 1 linebacker and 5 DBs. So we had 2 good corners in Jakari Huff and Jackson Morris, my sophomore, at 1 safety, and Cohen Thomason, I think, at the other safety. And then the deep safety is Caleb Lovin, or maybe I've reversed Thomason and Lovin there. But in the middle of it all is Cole Hill, number 14. He is the linebacker, the middle linebacker, and the quarterback of the defense. He led the team in tackles with 11 last week. Real physical, stopped the run first, good hands, gets good speed, but real tough. And that's what we look like on defense.
Yeah, and kind of just to touch on the sort of small town, small team thing that Murphy probably has too. A lot of the guys play both ways, so you'll see the same names getting called on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. You mentioned last week. Were you guys there for last week? And can you kind of just tell us? I mean, that was a monumental win for the program over South Carolina.
For sure, that was a big win for us. I mean, that team hadn't lost since November of 2019, and to go up there on the road and beat them at their place to kick the year off. I mean, that kind of set the tone for, I guess, expectations, and then moving forward, kind of what to expect out of this Commerce Tiger team. But yeah, Mason was on ground. He was on the scene, so I can let him talk a little bit more about that game specifically.
Yeah, the cool thing about that game was we went up there, and initially it looked like we were stone cold dead on the field. I mean, 3 and out right off the bat, and it looked rough. But but our boys stuck with it, and they didn't panic. They were tough. They were disciplined, and they really ground down Southside Christian, which we kind of think that that's one of our strengths this year as a team, is that we play tough. And Dino said we've got some guys that play both ways, but not as many as we traditionally do. We've only got 2 right now, and then some sub on defense that play on offense, but 2 starters both ways. So pretty big squad. We got 20 seniors, which is the most we've had in a couple of years. And then a class of, I think, 10 or 11 behind them, and then 20 sophomores are all pretty instrumental. So we played really well. The defense came up big, and the offense got plays when we needed it. Even converted a fake punt on the first game.
Well, just looking over, we use this tool, a matchup predictor tool called Massey Ratings. It's what they used to use when they did the BCS rankings and all that stuff. And it says 27-21 Commerce over Murphy. If you guys we're betting men, what kind of spread would you say you're looking at heading into this? And I mean, I know it's week 2 for both teams. I mean, it's hard for me to predict too. Just watching Murphy last week, but I mean, does the score sound right, or is Commerce traditionally more of a lower scoring defensive type team?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that is. I guess it could. It's hard to say after one game. I mean, it could work out that way. But if I was kind of setting the line, I mean, given that Murphy has to go on the road, and I think Vegas usually gives the home team about 3, I would give Commerce maybe be the favorite by 3, and if it was a neutral site, just about a pick 'em. I think it's going to be a really good game, and we know that Murphy's got a long kind of standing tradition of having a good ball team, and we know they're going to bring down a good bunch of kids and hopefully a good crowd too. So definitely looking forward to Friday night, and I think it's going to be, with that being a game still, I think it will be a 1-score game for sure.
He knows the gambling man, so he knows better than me.
I got you. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on. We're gonna be live on location. When we get there, we can catch up with you guys and have you on our pregame show if you're interested. But we'll talk about that at a later date. But guys, I really appreciate you coming on and talking with us and kind of previewing this game for Friday night.
Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for having us. We'll just reach out to us either on Twitter or email. We'll get you a good spot to eat at. Maybe you can share that with the crowd coming down. There's a few spots. Support local in downtown Commerce. If you want to go to Huck's or the Mexican restaurant El Perion, we frequent both of those establishments for your crowd coming down. Yeah, definitely. We look forward to joining the show pregame if we can, and I know we'll have a better reception up there probably than we do here at my house. So sorry if the signal is bad on you, but we do what we can out here.
I hear you. So Huck's is where we're gonna meet. All the Bulldog fans are gonna go Friday night before the game, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't recommend it enough. It's run by a bunch of good folks. So I got to get there early. It gets packed on Fridays.
All right, guys. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you Friday night.
All right, take care.
B&M Metals has been serving the Southeast for almost 50 years. From metal roofs and panels to gutters and metal accessories, B&M Metals is your one-stop shop for all things metal. They pride themselves on providing great service and quality at a competitive price. Give B&M Metals a call at 706-864-6068 or visit them at 6195 Highway 52 East in Murrayville or at bmmetalroofing.com. B&M Metals, protecting everything that matters to you most.
The Red Tag sale is back.
Who's that guy?
His name is Red Tag. He's here to save some green. He's slashing prices left and right for the home of your dreams. Save thousands thousands on select in-stock homes, that's what we say. If you want to save some green, just look for the man in red.
My name is Gary.
Don't.
Save thousands on select homes at the Red Tag Sale.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the endless aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
The wait times are shorter, so get to Days and pre-order your new Chevy today. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is your pre-order headquarters. If Chevy builds it, we can reserve your slice of happiness right now. And as soon as your new Chevy rolls off that truck, we'll deliver it right to you. So get it done. Pre-order your new Chevy today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
North Georgia Metals has been serving the Southeast for over 40 years. From metal roofs and panels to gutters and metal accessories, North Georgia Metals is your one-stop shop for all things metal. Give the team at North Georgia Metals a call at 706-276-1633 or visit them at 15544 Highway 515 South in Ellijay or on the web at northgeorgiametals.com.
Welcome back to the North Georgia Kickoff Show presented by Team FYN Sports. Be sure to follow us on Team FYN Sports, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Big game right here with Pickens and North Murray. We've got a cast of characters here to join us. We've got Bentonburg, RJ Casey, Chris Napier, and Lawrence Morgan to talk about it. We may hit on a few other games after we talk about this segment. But a fun game, and we're going to let RJ and Chris talk a little bit about their 2 schools right here, and then Benton and Lawrence will probably chime in as well. So Pickens at North Murray. Pickens coming off a loss this past week, as well as Snorville, and North Murray coming off a loss to Dalton. RJ, Chris, take this one away.
This is the first ever matchup between Pickens and North Murray. This is North Murray's second week in a row, their first ever matchup. So it's going to be exciting to see new teams and exciting to see my buddy RJ.
Yep. Looking forward to it, Chris. Like you said, first time meeting between these 2 teams, but it's not Pickens' first time at North Murray playing a football game. A couple of years ago, they had to go to North Murray to compete in a mini playoff to see who would be the third and fourth seed out of them, Southeast Whitfield and Northwest Whitfield. So they're familiar with the field. They're not familiar with North Murray, obviously, but it should be a good game between two teams looking for a win.
Yeah, it was a rough start to the season for North Murray. They got a little banged up, and of course they went up against a guy who is an elite football player, Tyson Greenway. The kid has proved that, and I don't think he gets enough attention. He's an elite athlete, so I think he's going to have a great season. So North Murray's going to come back, and I'm sure they're working hard. As I said, they had some guys banged up, and I'm thinking they're getting healthy this week. They're working on some of the things that they needed to work on defensively and offensively. They made some miscues, but I really look for that North Murray offense to get on track. Seth Griffin and that talented group of receivers he's got, and Petty and Liam Rogers. Hope he's getting back, and then you got Skylar Williams, and then Jaden Rice. So I really look for them to get back on track, get high flying back on that turf there at Mountaineer Stadium.
Yeah, and much like North Murray, Pickens is looking to get on track. They had a slow start in the first half against Norville last week, going down 20-0. But they played better in the second half, outscoring them 15-7. Defensive line played all right against Sonoraville. Got a couple of sacks. Trevor Morgan led the team with 14 tackles and 2 sacks. They had some success offensively with a big run off a sweep by Colby Brooks. Sam Stryker was able to find Isaiah Williams for a couple of catches, able to find Marcus Pike for a couple of catches. But the Dragons will look to get their secondary shored up a little bit. I know they had some issues there in that Sonoraville game that led to some big gains for the Phoenix, and see if they'll get that shored up a little bit against the passing attack that is very formidable in North Murray.
Yeah, it's crazy. Last week, all Region 7 AA teams were defeated.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us predicted that. And if you did,
need to play the lottery if you pick that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, while we're here, we'll talk about a few of the games for week 2. But what are y'all's kind of biggest takeaways from week 1? I know I'm kind of actually putting you on the spot right here. But let's just kind of go around the room right here. Maybe the biggest surprises week 1.
I'm going to go with Kalis Finley.
Yeah, he's a big body kid, and he run the ball hard. He run the ball well. He had 18 carries for 247 or something like that. It was something big.
And you could also throw Tyson Greenway in there. We knew he was good, but he's better than good. He's elite. So he's not only really good offense as a running back, he's a very good defensive back. I think that could see some attention from the next level. So those two really stood out to me.
I'll go with Cedartown. We knew how good they were last year, making that run in the state playoffs, but they really went in and made a statement at their bitter rival Rockmart, at Rockmart's place, and shut down a very high-powered offense and high-powered running attack by the Yellow Jacket team, and they made a statement saying, "Yeah, the region we're in, it's going to be tough, but we're still the kings of it."
Yeah, I think Tim hit on it for me. I think the biggest surprise for me was 7AA going 0-7, and more than that, it was the lack of offensive production for the 7AA teams. I mean, outside of North Murray, I bet combined score was probably less than 30 of the other 6 teams.
Yeah, it was.
But the good thing about that is it really means nothing in the grand scheme of things as far as region play and the playoffs and all that goes. 0-1 means nothing to those teams. So move on. And I guess one of the most surprising things to me was how well Mr. Juju at Carrollton shined as a freshman quarterback, just throwing the ball around to everybody. Um, man, what a talent! And I think it looks like a huge matchup a week after this one against Rome. I can't stop thinking about it.
Yeah,
Definite
it'll be talked about a lot. All right, week 2. What are some of y'all guys' top games heading into week 2?
Creek. Coahulla Creek is going to welcome a team they are very familiar with. It's just right down the street in the Northwest Whitfield Bruins. Everybody knows what happens last week. Is Northwest able to go over there and get revenge, or is there a new sheriff in town with Creek? We're going to find out this Friday. I think these are 2 very good teams. This is going to be an exciting game.
I think that's going to be a packed stadium, and there's going to be. I mean, get there earlier, you won't have a good seat. You'll be sitting on the 20.
You might be watching it from the road out there.
Yeah, that's true.
Lawrence, heading into week 2, what's some of the games you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I think the game that catches my attention around the area is the Sonoraville, the Darlington game. You got 2 teams who are, looking at first place in their region at the end of the season, matching up head to head at Sonoraville. It's going to be a heck of a game.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how. We know about the Darlington line of scrimmage, and I've been fairly impressed with the Sonoraville line of scrimmage early in the season. So we're interested to see how they match up and see how the Darlington defense does against Pate at quarterback. He was pretty good last week, and he was good in the scrimmage game as well. The game I'm looking forward to seeing is Lafayette and Trine. I'll probably be up there at Lafayette when the Bulldogs go on the road up there to face off against the Ramblers, and I'm going to see if Mr. Finley can have a repeat performance as he did last week. It was kind of a coming out party for him. He's just a sophomore, I believe.
Yeah, I'm interested in Cedartown Callaway, obviously Rock Martin Cass. I'm interested in both those matches. I think I'm really interested to see Rock Martin Cass, obviously being Region 7 AA. But here's some good things out of that Cass quarterback.
Yes. Devin Henderson. This guy is an elite talent. One of those guys I keep saying McConkey numbers are possible, and that's 2,000 yards passing, 1,000 yards rushing. So this guy can definitely do it.
Yeah.
And I believe didn't one of their linemen get the Penn State offer?
Yeah.
Yep. Freshman lineman, yep. Wow. Bear McWhorter, man, that's a great name for an offensive lineman.
Good for him. Good for him.
Parents,
guys, anything else anybody wants to touch on before we close the show?
I'll tell you a game that's going to be pretty interesting, for the 7AA fans is the one right here in Floyd County, Model hosting Pepperell.
Yeah.
We'll get to see what Model can do against Pepperell in the run game. And
Model's got a decent defense. If they're much like Fannin County, they got to get some offense going.
Yeah.
We think the defense is there for both those schools.
I'm interested to see, another old region mate of Pickens. I'm interested to see that Heritage East Hamilton matchup.
Yes.
That seems like that'll be an interesting game. And I believe that's at East Hamilton too as well. So
yeah, I saw this week where the East Hamilton quarterback last week put up 400 yards. I mean, he ran 20-something times for 400 yards, scored 5-6 touchdowns.
Yeah. Did I read that was Heritage? This is Heritage's first ever game against a non-state opponent. Did I read that correct?
It may be.
Yeah. It'd be kind of odd if it was, because they're right there on the border. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't quote me on that, but I think I read that.
yeah, I said on our Pick'em show, man, if Heritage wins this game, I think it opens a lot of eyes in 7-4A. I mean, you got to put Heritage right up there with Central and Cedartown.
Absolutely. And all of a sudden, that region is loaded.
Loaded, absolutely loaded.
Loaded.
Yeah. I've said it a couple times, but I'm thankful. Pickens is not having to deal with that region. I know 7-3A is going to be tough on its own, but my goodness, that 7-4A region is looking mighty.
Well, guys, it seems like it took forever to get here. Now we're already talking about week 2 games. I mean, enjoy it. If you're a high school football fan, enjoy it because it will go by quick. And hopefully the weather's better.
Yeah.
Terrible weather weekend last week. I think I looked now, 30% chance maybe for Friday, 40%. So hopefully it all holds off and we're all able to join some football.
I've got faith that Mother Nature is on a bye week. She was not kind to anybody last week.
No, sir.
I said earlier in the show, I've got shoes by the front door that are still soaking wet from last Friday night. It was awful.
We had some football games start at 9:00 last week. So that's
it's not fun. But guys, thank y'all for joining. Stick around for next week and join us on the North Georgia Kickoff Show presented by Team FYN Sports. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Thank you guys for tuning in and enjoy football.
B&M Metals has been serving the Southeast for almost 50 years. From metal roofs and panels to gutters and metal accessories, B&M Metals is your one-stop shop for all things metal. They pride themselves on providing great service and quality at a competitive price. Give B&M Metals a call at 706-864-6068 or visit them at 6195 Highway 52 East in Murrayville or at bmmetalroofing.com. B&M Metals, protecting everything that matters to you most.
The red tag sale is back.
Who's that guy?
His name is Red Tag. He's here to save some green. He's slashing prices left and right for the home of your dreams. Save thousands on select in-stock homes, that's what we say. If you want to save some green, just look for the man in red.
My name is Gary.
Don't.
Save thousands on select homes at the Red Tag Sale.
At Circuit World, we offer a wide selection of major appliances, name brands like Whirlpool, LG, Frigidaire, and more. Looking for furniture? Come by and browse our showroom or check out the Endless Aisle, a touchscreen kiosk with thousands of options. Need electronics, gaming computers, laptops, desktops, tablets? We have it all. OLED or QLED, 4K or high def. We have the selection to get you the TV of your dreams. And don't forget, at Circuit World, your credit is always good. So ask about our convenient payment options and 120 days, same as cash. Come see us today at one of our 5 area locations.
The wait times are shorter, so get to Days and pre-order your new Chevy today. Days Chevrolet in Jasper is your pre-order headquarters. If Chevy builds it, we can reserve your slice of happiness right now. And as soon as your new Chevy rolls off that truck, we'll deliver it right to you. So get it done. Pre-order your new Chevy today at Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Days Chevrolet. Days gets it done.
Find new roads.
Are you looking for expertly decorated gifts you'll love with your custom design or logo? Graphic Expressions in Blue Ridge is your go-to place for custom apparel, accessories, gifts, and much more. Graphic Expressions is located at 3640 East 1st Street in Blue Ridge, or give them a call at 706-946-4605. Graphic Expressions, unrivaled customer service, pure brand awesomeness.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.